Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'm going to give double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that rule and teach well. Blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect, those in this gospel brought, living up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a lesson through the Spirit, Lord's will to be edifying. Just a exhortation and some encouragement for younger brothers and older brothers, in this thing that may be struggling with mindset. What I realized about this truth, and I'm still realizing it because the truth is ever growing, is everlasting. Like it's like the universe. The universe continues to expand and it grows in infinite number, and that's the level of this truth. And the more that you're in this truth and the longer you're in this truth, you're going to realize that you really ain't on no level at all, because the more you learn, the more you need to learn, and it's just one of them things that you got to constantly keep growing, because you can never grow enough, because it's levels to this thing. Like they say, experience trumps everything. Experience is key. Experience is the key to everything. And with this truth, you get experience in life. You get experience by how to handle certain situations. You get experience in setbacks. You get experience in disappointments. You get experience in all types of endeavors coming into this faith. So as you're growing in this thing, you're going to have what they call growing pains. Growing pains, they're not necessarily good because, they hurt. and sometimes the growing pains could put you in situations that may not come out or be to your favor or to your liking. But overall, it's designed to teach you a profitable lesson through the Spirit. Like, I don't know, like you brothers out there that got teenagers, boys, they always complaining that their limbs or their feet or something like that is hurting, because those are what you call growing pains. I remember when I was a teenager, even though I don't have the best height, but I noticed when I was getting older and hitting the puberty stage, I noticed that, I was having a lot of aches and pains in my body because, the molecular structure, the cells, things were changing and the body was maturing. So it's the same thing when it's true. When you go through certain things in life, you may not understand why you go through it. And sometimes you may repeat the lesson 3 or 4 times before you understand the realization of what the Lord is trying to tell you. And then you got those times when you go through disappointments. You got them times when you go through setbacks. You go through them times when you feel that people have taken advantage of you or got the best of you, or, made you feel inferior to their tyranny or to their bullying. And you have to sit back and ask yourself, is this really me, or is this really just a thought or a mindset? Because everything you go through in life, it's handled with a particular mindset. And mindsets have to be learned, and they have to come into. You have to learn them by experience. All right, so this is the book of 2 Timothy 1. And I'm going to start at verses 6. It says, "Wherefore I put thee in remembrance, that thou stir up the gift of Yahweh, which is in thee by putting on of my hands. For Yahweh have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." And I really wanted to focus on the sound mind and the fear as well, because believe it or not, as long as we are considered living beings in this flesh, we're going to have some form of fear, whether it be good fear, bad fear. Oftentimes going into the unknown, that could be a fearful thing, or it can be anxiety. But really your mindset and your body is preparing you for a flight or fight response, which you have to really pay attention to and feed into it. You can't really overly feed into it on a negative act, like those that dread or fear you may have. That's just your body and your adrenaline getting you ready for whatever may to come to that. You can't give over into the negative of that emotion, because that's not necessarily a negative emotion. You're very alive. But also that comes with having a sound mind too, because a lot of times, man, when you're young in this faith, a lot of times you tend to bring problems into the ministry and videos and don't even realize it. Like, hey, myself, I can speak on that. And other brothers, I see it as well. When they're going through things with their women or their ribs or whoever they want to call, that's in their circle. A lot of times, you oftentimes talk about that a lot in your videos, because that's your way of portraying a message of hurt and upset and getting it off your chest without even realizing it. And sometimes you may realize what you're doing. But overall, we've all been guilty of that. I remember it was a particular season I was going through hell, with in life with with individuals and stuff like that, and a lot of times it'll come out in the videos, and to the point people will question like, damn, is this guy really a man of the Lord? And when I thought about it and I reflect on it, I was like, God damn, I was tripping. But at that time, it was necessary because it was what was needed in order to gain that experience and to get over that hurdle. Because at the end of the day, those things were still edifying to somebody else. So how about Shemi Hawashai puts us through certain pockets of dealings in life to help us to overcome certain situations, man. Even if it seemed like a long, drawn out process. Okay, so look up sound mind. And I'm pretty sure it's not a compound in here. It's not one. Sound mind. This is the word.
Strong's G 4995. Sophronismas. Sophronismas.
Okay, and sound mind goes into admonishing or calling to soundness of mind, to moderation, self-control, moderation. You gotta have a form of self-control, man. Certain things you just gotta let go. Certain things you just gotta hold off, put it off to another day. Like my thing is like, all right, I'll see you later. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I'll catch up with you later. Don't nothing ever get, the Lord don't forget shit. You know what I'm saying? But us being Jake Mel and, full of testosterone and being emasculated in his fucked up ass world, a lot of times, man, we got to show our dominance in the form of being boisterous or overly loud and trying to be overly aggressive to prove some type of manhood because we've been emasculated. Like, since you were brought into this world, you've been emasculated by this society. You've been emasculated from your father, your mother, your sisters, your brothers, your co-workers, your jobs, your life, trying to do things in life. You've been totally emasculated. And when you think about how deep the rabbit hole goes, as the experiment they've done on Jake, it was really a whole conspiracy or a whole plot to do away and pick away at our spirit, man. And this is why we seeming to play catch up now. Okay? Because through the spirit, like they've done a number on us, man. This is why Jake walks around overly aggressive. He's angry all the time. It's like he's being attacked by an enemy that he knows is attacking him, but he can't possibly fathom where it's coming from because it's all around him. It's like in those movies. Like, it was this one Halloween movie that came out back in the 90s. And this is when they was doing all the retcons and changing up the plot line, and find out that this guy Mike was part of a cult and the whole town was in on it. You see what I'm saying? And only people that was from the outside looking in, they didn't know that. They knew something was wrong, but the whole town was in on that cult or that curse that afflicted this serial killer. You know what I'm saying? While him being a victim of it, everybody else that was in on it, and then you got the outsiders looking in, bro, and they don't know what the hell is going on. They just like, look, we trying to fight this evil, but it was a whole fucking plan to destroy the mindset of these people, man. And that's how it is with us. So when you go to work, there's no coincidence you have a fucking black woman in HR. There's no coincidence that you have mainly women running the fucking jobs. There's no coincidence that you have soy boys that gets all the praise, that protect it. You know what I'm saying? And men that have voice like us, they try to silence us, man. Okay? And that's a real thing. And everybody is in on you, Jake, being destroyed. So you have to understand and come to the realization of having a sound mind through all this shit. And it may not be appeasing to the flesh because in your mindset, you want to go batshit crazy and you want to start fucking up the house. Trust me, I feel that 100%. But knowing that and understanding what these people are doing to us, you have to really exercise your mental fortitude to navigate through this pit. Because this pit is not, or this battle is not one of brute force, but it's strategically, it's chess, man. And when you, like, just put it to you like this, like, you can have a person that never thrown a left jab or a right crossover or a left hook in his life. But I guarantee you, if he's a phenomenal chess player and you was to put that man and give him lessons, I guarantee you he will be able to beat the best fighter that's thrown 1,000 punches in his life, because he can outthink you. And that's what this game is about. Outthinking the enemy, man, because brute force ain't gonna cut it. We ain't got brute force on our side. It's not enough of us, man. Even though the spirit is with us, but that's not how this battle is gonna be won, through brute force, man. So you brothers that be dealing with things with your women and, And your children, hey man, you just gotta have self-control. You gotta have moderation. If it's a battle you can't win, walk away from it. Come back to it later, or just let it go altogether. Okay, because some battles are just not meant to be won on this side when there's no profit in your growth, man. And this is what Jake have to understand. And it's easier said than done, but we just can't let everything, take a toll on our spirit. And it comes with experience. Because trust me, man, the battlefield of the mind it's a harsh reality, man. And it sucks, but this is what we have, the spirit. All right, so this is the book of 1 Corinthians 10. And I'm gonna start at verses let's start at verses. This whole chapter is really good. Yeah, let's start at verses 13. It says, "There have no temptation taking you, but such as is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able." Okay, so that means that even then you may go through situations that may seem dire, and it may seem like it may take you out, but the Lord ain't gonna tempt you. He's gonna push you to your limits, because he knows how strong you are. He knows the spirit he put in you. But if it's too much, then the Lord will pull you out of that fire, cool you off, and then he'll put you back in it. And when he puts you back in it, you're gonna be resilient to dealing with that pressure again until he ups the pressure. It's like spiritual weightlifting, man. When you maxing out at 350, you know what I'm saying? You maxed out there, bam, you probably can't put on another plate. But it took some time to get up to 350. You see? But it says here, "Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you're able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it." Okay? So that's the point, man. Certain things, you just gonna have to bear in this truth. But if it's a situation that you can ultimately control by walking away from it, whether it be your woman, your child, it's not easy for brothers to walk away from family. Like, I get it, but I'm at the point now, I don't really give a fuck about my family like that. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know that them ninjas ain't never have my best interest. And you know what? It is what it is. Like, I got a 13-year-old daughter. My daughter be 14 next week. And honestly speaking, I don't really give a fuck. Like, I'm at the point now, I just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because none of them ninjas had my best interest at all. It's been nothing but darkness and talking shit. And I ain't even around these people like that all the time. And yet, I seem to be the prized possession of the conversation when I'm out here serving the Lord. I ain't bothering nobody. But when it comes to something they need or money, then all of a sudden, everybody wants to call the phone and act like they need this and that. I'm to the point, I'm thinking about changing my number. The only people that's going to happen is the brothers. And that's real talk, and I can do that because that's in my power to do that. I can do that. I'm not guilt or shame because my child is not living with me no more. I don't feel bad about that. Like, a lot of Jakes, they get broken down because the baby mama thought, well, you ain't in your child's life. They don't live with you. Hey, you can't shame me with that shit. I don't give a fuck about that shit because I know it's a bigger purpose than that. And ultimately, I'm serving Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, so I don't give a fuck about all that shit. But certain brothers, that's a lot for them to deal with. And I'm glad that the Most High put the spirit of me to be able to detach from people quite easily at times, because, let's just say if I had that overly dependable spirit, then it would be hard for me to break loose. Prime example for my child, yeah, it was hard to break loose from the situation and not have control over it like I wanted to and like I should have. But I understand right now this is not the reality. And no matter what I do, I'm going to always be the bad guy. So by me knowing that, I would use that as fuel to strengthen me to say, well, fuck y'all too. It's just that simple. Here, you getting financially supported. That's all y'all care about anyway. Here's the money. Get the fuck out my face. And that's really how I feel about it. I don't care about birthdays. I don't care about graduations. I don't care about none of that shit. Well, why you ain't show up for our 8th grade graduation? Up because I'm in a different state, 500 miles away, and I got other shit to do. I don't care about that shit. So, I don't know. If I'm the devil for that, then so fucking be it, man. Like my man Murph said, he said, look, man, if your children, your family are under you, fuck them. Because at the end of the day, they're going to be the ones looking up and kissing our ass because we the ones that serving how about you, man, how shine. Man, that's a big ass spider. Show that ass out of here, man. Anyway, and I was just using that as an example because I know brothers go through a lot of marital issues and family issues and this thing, and that can also time that can be a burden to brothers. because they don't know how to let go. Okay, so it says here, there have no temptation taking you but such as common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you're able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape. So the Most High is gonna always make a way for us to escape out of the bullshit. Cause this all bullshit, man. Like, I don't even fucking take this place serious no more. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, man, look, I'd rather fuck you up and put hands on you before I feed into all that other bullshit. That's just me though. That's just my spirit, you know what I'm saying? But not even on no carnal stuff, man. I just, Jake just be in the warrior mindset. But reality, that's how Jake feel. Jake really feel like, they've been pressed, and we have been. So we gotta stay spiritual at all times, man. All right, Romans 12:2, it says here, I'm gonna start at 1. Beseech you, therefore, brethren, beseech by the mercies of Yahweh, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice. At the end of the day, we're sacrifices, man. Okay, when you are a sacrifice, you go through all types of fucking harassment and slaughter and just like when the Passover, like Yahweh Shai, he was a sacrifice. He was a lamb unblemished. He didn't do anything wrong to anybody, but yet he still had to face the rigorous torment. And fortunately, and I say fortunately, we're in that same stead. So you got to understand, everything we went through, Yahweh Shai went through. So if he's choosing you to go through these things, then blessed be unto you, man. Because the scriptures say, anybody that live godly in Yahweh, blessed is anybody that live godly or that's persecuted in the name of Yahweh Shai, roughly paraphrasing. So it may don't feel good to the flesh because it's a thing of, fuck all that. But overall, man, the Lord has chosen you to be the example, man. And though people don't realize it now, sooner than later, the fruits of those mercies and the fruits of those labors will pay off. Okay? And that's a fact, and you got to believe that. And it says that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to the Most High, which is your reasonable service. So this is our duty, this is our job, this is our calling. All right? It says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable in the perfect will of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. So transforming your mindset, getting out of that worldly mindset. You can't always have things your way. You can't always expect things to go the way you expect it to go. Okay, in fact, most things are not going to go the way you expect it to go because they're just the society we live in. Like I said, things are already tainted for your fall. So you got to understand on how to outthink and navigate those pits. Okay, you might not be able to physically jump over that pit, but when you outthink a situation and you figure out how to make things work, then the Lord, he will provide you with the go ahead, man. So keeping that in the back of your mind, not being conformed to the world, not letting your personal issues leak out in the body. Even though the body is here to support each other in our lives and our growth and our administration duties and things like that. But even then, you don't want to have to put too much on a particular brother that's already going through certain things. And then, hey, some brothers don't speak up enough about their situations. Sometimes you got to speak up and ask the brother to put up a prayer or two for you, man. Go on a fast for you, and if the brother's still contracting hell after that situation, then this may be his cross he got to bear, because let's believe it or not, a lot of the shit we go through is really self-inflicted. A lot of us, we get with these women and we have babies with them and, we do things that's not convenient and you take away your duties from the body and before you know it, you're frustrated, you're stressed out, you're depressed, you're getting sick, you don't want to do anything anymore, you're not proactive in the body no more, but yet you're giving all your time over to this woman that her job is to overthrow you out the truth. And before you know it, you back on the sideline asking what happened, So a lot of these self-inflicted gunshot wounds, Jake got to stop playing with the gun with the safety off, man. You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, man, you can't pay me to put my seed in a bitch. Only how I put my seed in a woman is if she's got a hysterectomy or some shit. Straight up. If she can't have baby and it gotta be proof she can't have a baby. You can't pay me to put my seed in none of these hoes out here. They ain't worth it. Okay, I fucked up the first time I put my seed in a bitch that I can't stand to this day. You know what I'm saying? And I will never make that mistake again, Lord's will. Like I have a term, put her on her and not in her. You know what I'm saying? Shit, she be better off drinking the kids before you put them inside of her. You know what I'm saying? Shit, put it on the stove top. Don't put it in an oven. You know, Salakia for my graphics, but you get the point. Stop doing this shit to yourself, brothers. Stop taking shit that you ain't gotta take by these people that's less than you, man. You know, like I gave the example earlier with family. Look, I don't give a shit if none of them reach out to me, man. I really don't care. I have a peace of mind being X amount of miles away and doing what I do here. Even though the little bullshit life I have out here is not all that caked up to be. It's peaceful in its own right. And I would take that any day over a bunch of negative demons that try to bring you down emotionally and mentally. So take heed to these examples, brothers, man, and forgive yourself, man. You know, have patience with yourself. You know, and stop forcing the spirit. If you're not in the spirit, then don't do it. Pray for the spirit. Like sometimes I gotta scroll through the channel and see what I want to speak on. The spirit say, you know what, bam, like it was a lesson I did yesterday. The spirit came to me and said, yeah, speak on that. And usually the spirit give me things to talk about kind of advanced. Like I can go through some things and the spirit like, yeah, you talk about that I already have it set up through the spirit. But sometimes it just don't work. Sometimes it just don't hit you. Sometimes you just don't feel like doing it. And you know when you're trying to force it, because when you're trying to force it, if it don't sound right to you, then it probably don't sound right. Okay, and I'm not saying that all the time, because a lot of times none of this sounds right to us. But when you listen to it, you like, oh yeah, that's cool. But when you know it ain't right, then don't do it. You know, be sure. Colossians caption: put on a new self. And how much you want to bet this video ain't gonna get no hits? Because like I said, a lot of you niggas in this thing ain't nothing but a bunch. You just in this shit for entertainment. Salakia not shit, but you in the truth for entertainment. Okay, you don't give a damn about the message or the word of the Heavenly Father. You just worried about if you gonna get entertainment, if some black bimbo gonna get cussed out, you know? But anyway, it says, if you be risen with the anointed, seek those things which are above, where Yahweh Shai is sitting on the right hand of Yahweh. Okay? Seek the things in heaven. We have hope. We have faith. Okay? We hope for a new world. We know that this world is wicked. It's evil and it ain't fair. You know? But us knowing that, how much more should we gravitate to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai? Set your affection on things above, not on things on earth. Yeah, man. So fuck these people, man. Fuck your goddamn family. All right. I'm not saying like don't be cool with your family if they cool with you. Yeah, be cordial. But overall, man, your whole duty ain't to please them niggas, man. You know, the first thing we tried to do in this thing was wake up our family. You found out that was a big no-no. So right there, they showed you right there they wasn't rocking with you. Just off the strip. Like most of the people I know in my camp were complete strangers to me, man. Now we're closer than ever. I've known these brothers maybe a handful of years, and I've known family since I've been on this planet Earth, and yet the brothers that I'm around rock with me more than fucking family. You know, at least in my knowledge, you know, and from what I like to believe, you know, at the end, you know, and I would say this: you ain't gonna know who's rocking with you to who's rocking with you, but you like to believe that men in your thing have your best interests, as they should, as we should have each other's best interests. But I won't be a fool either and say, I know you got me. Hey, it could be a nigga standing right next to you and don't like you. He be waiting for you to get kicked out or lose your leadership position and say, I never liked him anyway. You got that type shit in this thing. So, you know, and I'm not saying to look at men funny like that, but sometimes, man, you just got to know, like, yeah, I already know what it is. So, you know, have that balance about you, Jake. Think 3 moves ahead of the chessboard is what I like to say, because when things happen, not to your expectancy, then you know how to deal with it a little bit more because you expected it anyway. You know, it says, set your affection on the things above and not the things on earth, for ye are dead and your life is hid with Yahweh Shai and the anointed. I mean, Yahweh Shai and the Most High. It says, when Yahweh Shai, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Okay, so mortify therefore, which mortify means to kill. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth: fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affections, evil conspicuance, and covetousness, which is idolatry. So put off those negative, those dark thoughts, man. Easier said than done, but Jake, just pace yourself. You know, take your time. Deal with your portion. Problem is, Jake don't want to deal with their portion. Jake want to do more than what they're given. You know, bro, if you 150-pound man, why the hell are you eating 5,000 calories, bro? Your body weight can't stand up to that. Nigga, you need to be the average intake of 2,000 calories a day. That's what you do. You know, if you a big 350-pound man, then yeah, you might need to eat more because that way it keeps you filled. So you got to know your limits in this thing, man. And Jake, we just got to do that. All right. Philippians 4. And I'm going to start at verses, and pray, Jake, 6. It says, be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known unto the Most High. Yeah, pray. Like, I try to pray every morning, man, Even when I don't have the strength to do it, I pray. I get on my knees and I pray. At times when I'm like, what if this is falling on deaf ears? Nah, bro, I still pray because the Lord, he hears them. You just got to know that, And it says, in the peace of Yahweh, which passes all understanding, should keep your hearts and minds through Yahweh Shai. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things, man. Okay? So just think on the things above, man. Keep your spirit in the heavens. Don't overly break yourself down like the scriptures say, man. Why afflict thyself in thy own counsel? James 1:19, it says, wherefore, my brother, beloved, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Okay? Meaning swift to hear. You got 2 ears on your head. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth. So you can do twice the listening and less the talking. Okay? This is where women fall at. They rather speak than hear. You got 1 mouth, 2 ears. You got 2 ears for a reason, to listen. Okay? Let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of Yahweh. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with the meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls, man. Okay? Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any man be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like to a man beholding his natural face in a looking glass, man. Okay? So you want to be a doer of the word, not a hearer only, listening, being temperate. We're not saying be a pushover, but a lot of situations Jake get themselves in because they don't really think through. And then you got them situations that just come abruptly and you got to think on the fly. Okay, do I go to extreme with this or do I kind of like minimize it, or what can I do to get myself out of this? So you're going to have those situations that take you by storm too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not always brother's fault as to why they get in fucked up predicaments. A lot of times it's not even brother's fault. I'm just saying that from experience because sometimes people just got demons on them and they try you at the wrong time and you get ready to send somebody to the spirit world. And these people deserve that. But, right now you just got to try to see things ahead of the move and ask yourself before you get into that situation, should I go this route? Maybe I should just chill and go that route. So one more precept and I end it. Proverbs 19:11. It says, the discretion of a man deferred anger, and it is glory to pass over a transgression, right? And you look up discretion. Discretion goes into basically being circumspect, okay? Being circumspect. Which means prudence, insight, understanding, right? Good sense, understanding, cunning. Understanding, man, meaning self-awareness. A lot of Jakes don't have self-awareness. When you self-aware, then certain things you don't really tend to put yourself out there, man, because if you self-aware, you know what your strengths and weaknesses are, But anyway, brothers, I'm gonna end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to you. How about Shimi? How was shy? Lord's will. This was edifying. Into the next lesson.